Pentatonics Part 3. Please go back and watch the first two parts before you have a crack at this. In the last video we were talking about our tone and getting nice sounds into what we're doing. Not doing this. You know, that's not nice. That's nicer. Okay, so I'm going to look at a couple of little extensions on this scale. Now, much is made of there being loads of positions of the pentatonic, and as I said in the last video, you could play a pentatonic every single position on the whole neck if you really wanted to, but a lot of those fingerings aren't very practical and a lot of the time don't make very nice music really. So I'm going to deal with what I think of as almost like a pontoon, which is extending from the edge of our existing shape. Now we're taking A minor as an example for a couple of reasons, but mainly it's because it's in the middle of the neck. So one of the problems with having a fingering which does this is, well, we were saying earlier, our root note's going to be very important in finishing sentences, and with a fingering like this, there's only one direction we can approach this root note from, isn't there? Above. So it would be nice to get another note in there. Okay, but this is a bit, that's a little bit laborious. Let's change the fingering around. Okay, so now I've got my third finger on the root. Now, another note to add to give us that flexibility. We've got a note here already in our scale. So I'm going to take this note here. It happens to be a C. That kind of doesn't matter, but I'm going to play it there. Okay, so now very well used. Okay, and many others of course. So okay, if we've got this little extension here, and as I say, that's what I want you to think of. Don't think of it as a whole new fingering, because what's above it is not particularly easy or actually very ungainly to use without incorporating a couple of other techniques which are a little way down the line from where we are now. But okay, we've just got this little, I think of it like a little turning circle where you can come back around without having to do numerous moves back and forward. Now here's an absolutely crucial point. We've got that slide in there. What have we got here? Even. So this time I've had a slide down and a pull off. And you'll notice again there, I can even play it as what we call a grace note, which is just there to decorate note. You hear that? Okay, I think it's been used. Okay, and that takes me back to the example of using stuff that the top players that I grew up with used. That's how they're phrasing stuff. Now, it's really important not to add too much at one point, and that's why I'm going to resist the temptation to add anything else in this video. I'd rather you had a lot of short videos where you say, right, there's one concept I've got to get here, rather than some 3-week-long video, which you've got to remember, yes, on 17.5 minutes, he said something really interesting, which I'd like to rewind. It's the most important thing about communicating any information is to drip feed it, not to deluge somebody with all this information. I wonder sometimes whether people are a little insecure about this as teachers, and they feel they've got to prove that I can do this and I can do that and I've got to show you it all now. That's not what it's about. This is about getting you to do this, and there's plenty of stuff I can talk about, so I'm not worried about that. So let's just go through that again. Okay, and it's not really, we've got one new note here. Okay, what we've done though is we've changed the geography of that. Now that doesn't make this better, it makes it a choice. So there are certain, as we said before, that works great for that song, but what about this one? I mean, they're different songs, so they're different sounds. But okay, that kind of makes the point rather nicely, doesn't it? We do this. Or. And so on. Then that's very different from going. Yeah? Okay. Here's one other thought for you. What if I use that to move myself around that? Okay, I'll do it again. And I'm purposely playing this a little bit wooden. That's the key thing. I've just changed position there. Yeah, and I can double back on that. Or it's fun. Now really, I've made quite a lot of mileage out of very, very few notes, but I've made it work by using both approaches in the same phrases, so we get that kind of twist and turn that only really a guitar is capable of doing. It's one of the things about a guitar is being able to get the same notes in loads of different places, and each of the strings have a different timbre to them. So when we play a phrase and we change the position of those notes, we also change the shape of those notes. Okay, so that's about it for today. I'd like you really just to try and work around that little area, see how much you can get out of that. And in the next video, we'll be looking at another extension on the scale. But anyway, more about that next time. Thanks very much for watching, and please hit the subscribe button if you could. Bye for now.